everybody, and welcome to this video. In this one I am going to be Lanoguarding the Mitsubishi Shogun Sport. Lanoguard, if you don't know, is an underbody protection, like a rust treatment sort of thing. This one is actually quite clean underneath. It keeps getting, well, I keep getting told every time it goes in for an MOT, which in the UK is like a yearly inspection, that it's surprisingly clean. So I want to keep it that way because I do love this thing. So yeah, I've Lanoguarded it, and in this video I'll show you how easy it was to apply, what I did, and how it stood the test of time as well, because I actually did this about 6 months ago. So there will be a 6-month inspection after the initial fitting of the Lanoguard, or the spraying of the Lanoguard underneath, and we can go over that as well. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope this helps some of you out. If so, then let us know by hitting a like and subscribe below. That'd really help us. Thank you for your support, and enjoy the video. So let's get Lanoguard in. Well, ready to Lanoguard. Right, I forgot to film this first bit. I've washed down this far. I'm going to start taking some more of the covers off so I've got more room to get to the chassis properly. Just to make life a bit, well, just make sure I do a proper job really. Oh, I forgot to actually record me taking them off, but that's the steps off, because yeah, went to pull myself underneath, and yeah, that whole piece of metal from here to there kind of came off in my hand. As you can see, these I knew these were rotting. They were a bit bad gone last time I saw them, but nowhere near this bad. So I mean, I'm glad it happened whilst I was underneath it rather than on the motorway and a piece of it flying off and hitting the car behind. So, and if that's the rustiest part of the truck that I can unbolt, then I haven't got nothing to worry about, especially after I do the Lanoguarding tomorrow. So I'm going to park her up now and let her dry off, see whether my wife can still get in and out of this thing without a step on it. So welcome back to the driveway. We're on the next day. Truck's all done, clean wise. As you can see, there's a lot of rust under there. I think that was from when I took it through some quite salty water, and the courser's gone. But yeah, I thought I'd do a quick sort of unboxing really of the Lanoguard product, which is what I'm going to be using on the truck. First of all, I just want to show you these bits don't come with a kit. These are my own parts really. Of course, I've got a lay down max I'm going to be laying underneath it. I've got a torch so I can see areas better. Got wire brush just in case I catch any pieces of flaky stuff that I haven't taken off yet, because they do recommend that you get rid of any flaky rust paintwork or anything like that under there. And I've been under there with a steam cleaner and steam cleaned the hell out of the truck, but you never know, there's always bits you might miss. Paintbrush is for the grease that comes with it. Obviously the gloves and the blue roller just for hygiene for my hands, and this is just some hot water, because apparently they say the grease is like a concentrated sort of liquid that you just use for the areas that are a bit more problematic, but they say it works better if you heat it up a bit. I mean, it's a nice warm day, but I've got some warm water as well. So on to what comes in the box. As you can see, I've already opened this to have a proper look just to check, but you get some instructions and then the invoice. Always get a nice bit of paperwork. You've got a bottle, a spray bottle. I'm not 100% sure why you'd have them as well. But yeah, you get a spray bottle. I guess that's kind of nice. I suppose saves you having to carry around that whole 2 litre thing, but saying that, how many litres does this take? That gives you ounces. But then we've got, oh, this is an underbody lance. This will be quite interesting, because I've seen on some of the forums some of the guys saying that this is absolutely useless and things like that, but then I noticed in the instructions it says new and improved, so that'll be interesting to see. Then we've got, this is the squirty end. This is that thicker grease you use to put on with a brush, concentrated. Oh, this is the 2 litres of the normal motor spray itself. In the pictures it looked like I was thinking a 5 litre one I was, but hopefully that'll be enough to do the truck. Apparently they reckon it will. And I have it sticker, that's always good. Yeah, so as you can see, I've actually taken off all the covers inside the arches and things to get to things a bit better. You can see also that the chassis is a bit rusty. So this is a good time because it's not actually... I can't believe I drove it through a river when the tide was coming in. And I think I got it into salt water and it's absolutely been kicking off with this sort of surface corrosion. And I have been, as you can see, black around it, I have been wax oiling it. But I found the wax oil hasn't been lasting amazingly well, so this is why I'm trying the Lanoguard. The first thing I'm going to do is go around and see if there's anything I've missed, like flaky wise. So I'm going to take my wire brush and just have a quick glance underneath now the truck's dry. Have a look at this grease, see how thick it is. I'm going to use the motor grease on the weld bits. But it's just like that, so I can leave that there. I should be able to undo the end here a bit. Prep it.
What are you doing?
Want the quick bit now, so right, so I've done this side as well. I accidentally missed it on camera, but I'm sure you've got enough time lapse to watch it anyway. But yeah, just screwed the end of the lance on, so seems right to me. So I'll stop putting these inside the chassis holes. Right, so that is the truck done from what I can see. I don't know if I've missed any. I tried to get on top of the chassis. And I tell you what, this kit so far, I really like it. It's the fact you've got this little tiny one, so you're not trying to move around a whole bottle like that. And that bottle's probably a good idea, but I like this because you've got quite a bit of movement in that little area. So if you fit your palm of your hand in there, you can fit this in there. It's great. Right, so now I'm done, I'm going to wash all this stuff out. They advise you use soapy water for it once, then normal water to clean this out. I'm going to do it because then it saves me having to buy the whole kit if I want to do it again, if I'm impressed with the end result. But yeah, so far the outer application I'm quite pleased with, because I've covered the whole chassis and I didn't go lightly with it. I went hell for leather to make sure it definitely covered it, because I really do like this truck and I want to make it last. But yeah, and I did inside the chassis as well with this little lance, and I've read a few things online saying that these weren't that good, but this one, brilliant, it didn't fault, so it's fantastic. It might be because it's summer and it's a bit warmer, I don't know, but brilliant. I managed to put the lance into all the holes in the chassis and give it a good blast, and it's yeah, it seems to be good. And I've got a little bit of this left in case I need to touch any bits up, in case I've missed any, and I've got about half of the I've got about half of this left, and it's actually I left it in the sun as well. You can see how liquid some of that's become in the sun, so it's actually really quite good as well. So, but yeah, I'm just going to start cleaning this off and then put it away. I'm going to let the truck set for 24 hours before I drive it, and yeah, I'm going to have another look in about a week's time just to see how good the chassis looks or how bad the chassis looks, and I'll let you guys know as part of this video. Okay, so now I'm going to put the covers and everything back on, just so it's one less job to do later. Not really much to do with the Lanoguard bit, so this will be sped up. Yeah, I missed a bit, but I missed a bit up here. I'm going to go after it with the brush, not the spray, because I've already put the spray away, so... this will be fine. It's only a flat part of the chassis as well, so don't have to worry too much about getting it in a gap. So this bit is covered normally by, this part is normally covered by the under tray, which I'm about to put back on. Right guys, so that's that bit done. I went a bit more in depth than you really have to, all the instructions tell you. I mean, I did spend about 3 hours yesterday going over this truck with a jet wash, but I mean, admittedly, this is a 16-year-old truck, so there's a lot more flaky stuff on there. I also use it for off-roading, so there's a lot of mud on there. So it did take me longer than what I thought it was going to, but because of the price of the kit, because I have to admit, it's not a cheap kit like some of the wax oils and stuff you can buy, but I tell you what, the reason I've gone for Lanoguard is because the wax oils I was finding about for every 3 months I was having to touch pieces up where it was being rubbed off or coming off in the water and things like that, and it's just not ideal, especially in the middle of winter. So I want to give something a go which hopefully lasts me for at least 12 months. Another reason why I went really thick on the chassis with it. But I have to admit, with the smell of it as well, was one thing I haven't touched on yet. It actually smells really nice. It's nowhere near as strong as wax oil. It doesn't get stuck in your nose like it does now, and it's actually quite a nice smell. And like, even sitting in the truck now with the windows open, with sunroof open, I can't actually smell the Lanoguard that much in here, so it's really quite nice. And also, it's the coverage of it, after it's settled for a bit as well, it actually looks quite nice. There's a few bits which almost look a bit dry, but then to touch them you can still feel the Lanoguard on there. So I think it's where it's got a little bit of surface rust, and it's actually gone through that surface rust, the porous bit, to attach itself to the metal underneath, which is really good. And it's exactly what it said it was doing online when I researched it. I've still got my sticker to put in the windscreen or the window, and I will put it in there, but I'm going to wait for a few days to see how the coverage goes before I proudly display this in through my windscreen. So yeah, I'm gonna park this up, leave it for a day before I drive it. Then I'm out working for 6 days, so it'll probably be in about 7 days. I'll get the truck out, we'll have another look underneath and see what it looks like, and I'll add that into this video to give you a bit of an idea of what it looks like then. And also, obviously, if you keep up to date with my social media, I'll try and keep you guys sort of in the loop if I do notice any issues with it over the next 12 months, and we can go from there then. Right, welcome to 6 days later, and welcome to the back of the Shogun Sport. Yeah, as I was saying in the last bit of the video, I worked for 6 days straight, so now it's had 7 days for the Lanoguard to sit on the chassis. I moved it once the other day. I did 1.5 miles just to take the dog for a walk around the local park, because I needed to use this because it's just better, more dog friendly. But yeah, today, as you might be able to hear in the background, we've got a house full, so we're hoping to head down to the beach when it cools down a bit. So I was going to do some checks on the truck, but one of those checks I'm going to do is to just check and see how this Lanoguard settled on the chassis. So I thought I'd take you along and just show you what the result is after the 7 days. Right, I think a tow ball is a good place to start, because this is where I did paint some of the grease, and as you can see, the grease is still quite soft, but it is very thick, whereas this is the spray, and as you can see, it doesn't rub off as much, so it's pretty good, I have to admit. And the rest of it was done with the spray, and again, it's a little bit greasy to touch, but nowhere near that bad. And one thing I will say is where the rust is, it's covered it lovely, and you can see there's little drips there, but unfortunately this must be one of the most taxing tests for Lanoguard, I would have thought, considering that this is like week 2 of 30-degree plus heat that we've had in the UK, of this heat wave. Right, now looking under the side, as you can see, there is still some thick, that is the moto grease that I painted on around all of the welds, and you can see that's still quite thick. The other stuff is quite thin. It did worry me a little bit because it looks almost dry when on, but this was all little bits of surface rust. You can possibly still see it there, and it does feel a little bit dry there, so I might have to go over and give it another just brush up. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to see. Now, one thing I'm finding quite interesting, if you look, it looks a bit dull, but then if you rub your finger across it, it comes back quite nice and like almost liquidy, and it's not rubbing a lot of it off of my finger, so it's definitely Lanoguard there, even though it looks quite dry. So I'm just intrigued to see how well it cures my chassis. And I have put some of it in there as well, in these holes, so hopefully the inside is looking very similar to this outside, nicely protected. It does look quite nicely protected now, which is good. I'm really happy about that. This looked a mess before. Hello everybody, and welcome to a nice sunny day for a change. Today I was going to show you a bit of a product update on the Lanoguard that I applied to this truck. It has now been at least 6 months. In that time, this truck has been through mud, snow, salt, rain, and anything you can think of. I've done 300-mile round trips to go and see family in the southwest, and I've been driving it all around town. I've been off-road to take the dog for a walk up mountains and things like that, which is where the mud side has come from. And I think this is quite a good testimonial. I mean, if you don't use your car like I do, I mean, this is a workhorse for us, so it goes for everything. So I thought I would show you the underside of the truck and how it's getting on. As you can see, the tow bar on the back has stayed pretty much the same. There is still some rusty parts on it, but they were there when I painted it on, I believe, and they haven't got any worse. That was the worst part, and as you can see, it's still covered by the Lanoguard, and now you can touch it. It's not sort of soft. I mean, these parts, I mean, this shows you how much this truck's had a bit of a hide in. There's a lot of mud still on here, but underneath it, I'm sure when you rub it off, it's still protected underneath. I'm sure it is. I blasted it off with a steam cleaner. I'm going to do that again as well at some point. If we come down closer to the front, you can see a bit more. As you can see here, the Lanoguard is still very much there, and it's very much doing its job, and the chassis, it looks like it's still quite well protected, which is fantastic. I mean, like I say, I can't remember exactly how long it's been. Like I say, it's been over 6 months, but I do intend to get another tub of the Lanoguard to sort this out, yeah, during the summer again, because I'm well impressed with this. So guys, all in all, I can say that I am incredibly impressed with the Lanoguard product. I was trying Schultz Undersealer before for quite some time, and it was okay. It did what I needed it to, but I did find if I went off-road, I would end up rubbing a lot of it off all the time, because it never really set very well. So for my application, it wasn't very good. I mean, for road cars, I used Schultz for years, and it was great on that. But Lanoguard seems to have taken it to the next level, in my opinion. I really do rate this product now. And like I say, I will be reapplying it this year. I need to give it all a good steam clean off. If I do, I'll do an update video just to show you if there are any downfalls in there or any shortfalls where it's not really worked very well. But from what I can see, it has really protected my truck, and I'm well happy with that. So yeah, I shall be in contact with them soon. But I hope this has helped you out. If it has, then let us know by hitting a like and subscribe below this video. And if you have any questions, by all means fire them in the comments. Also share the video and everything else that helps us out. Thanks for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Just to prove that I'm happy with this product. This is going up in my windscreen now.